Hey there guys, welcome back to another awesome video, and today's movie review is going to be of Indiana Jones 5 and the Dial of Destiny. So Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny is supposedly, but hopefully for certain, officially the end to Indiana Jones and Harrison Ford as the titular character. So this movie is directed by James Mangold, who did the Logan movie, and that's probably where he's most notably known for, and that's his biggest project. He has done some other stuff like Walk the Line with Joaquin Phoenix, which I might take a look at sometime. Hint, hint. But anyways, so we have this film that a lot of people have been very divisive on. If this is good, if this is not so good, if this is sort of in the middle, if this really is the true, necessary, definitive end to the franchise, if this was unnecessary, if the fourth movie was unnecessary, because there is that argument that Last Crusade kind of was a good end to the trilogy. We'll kind of touch on that just a tiny bit. But for now, let's just talk about the movie itself and Dial of Destiny. And Harrison Ford, no matter what, I think he's definitely not phoning it in. He came to work, that's for sure. He's putting in it all. He's putting in every single effort and every single emotion into this movie, even if this is truly what he's passionate about or not. Because he has stated in interviews that this is something he's wanted to do, is see Indiana Jones very old, maybe not so grumpy, but kind of basically just be an old man. And there's definitely moments where he's like, oh, I got a back issue, or he can't do the same adventures and do the same shit as he can when he was younger. And it's definitely got that Logan vibe to it, which I think that's really cool. And if Harrison Ford was really wanting to do this movie and do something like with this concept, then by all means, awesome. So, but either way, even if this was a paycheck to him or not, he definitely is not phoning it in. He came to work. I can't stress enough because of how great he is. And it just kind of brings you back to that classic Indiana Jones feel to it. Even if I feel there's I don't know if this was intentional or unintentional, but there's some unintentional funny moments with Indiana Jones. Like, yes, Indiana Jones sometimes has some funny moments, but there's some unintentional ones with him being old man Indy, because he's got that, like, obviously that grumpy, cranky, like, old man energy to him, and I feel like that was Harrison Ford doing that. And I don't know if that's because Harrison Ford has created this, not caricature, but he's created this, like, personality or this attitude where he'll act like he's very like a cranky old man. I don't know if that's what he was trying to do with with Indy. I said Han, that's actually I'll keep that in. That's actually perfect. I'll keep that in. That's actually really good. Either way, I think that fits great, and I think that fits perfectly. Everyone else in this movie is fine. There is this character, I forgot the actress's name already, but she plays this goddaughter to Indiana Jones, which we established in this film that there's a flashback sequence, which the flashback sequence is really great. It's really phenomenal. And I will say the de-aging effect on Harrison Ford is very impressive at times. And I do like the mini movie we have in this flashback sequence. It feels like a mini movie, but we'll kind of touch on that in just a second or so. We have this flashback sequence that establishes that Indiana Jones knew this doctor and that they were like close friends, even though this is the first time we've seen him. And even though in the lore, it's like, he's so important to the lore and to the entire franchise. And they were the ones looking for the Dial of Destiny, which has this great potential power. And this Dial of Destiny has this very much classic Indiana Jones MacGuffin feel to it. But with this goddaughter and Indiana Jones going on this venture to basically look for the dial, she's fine in it. There's like a short round type character that he's okay, I guess. But everyone's kind of fine in this, I'm not gonna lie. The only people that really stand out to me was Indy, and then you have Mads Mikkelsen as the villain, which you gotta love Mads Mikkelsen. Another actor that he just clocked in, came to work, never phones it in whatsoever. If he plays a German villain, he plays a German villain. If he plays a sophisticated villain, he plays a sophisticated villain. That always seems to be the go-to with Mads Mikkelsen, with villains like Le Chiffre and others out there. But he does not phone it in. He knows how to put in the work. And I'm not gonna lie, it was nice to see all the other appearances. Like Sala was actually really good to see. And there's some other supporting cameos and supporting characters like Antonio Banderas, I guess, at one point. And then you have Marion, of course. And it's not like it's like spoon-fed to you in that sense of like this is nostalgia bait or anything. I thought this kind of was fitting, because if you're gonna have if this is gonna be your final outing, you should have at least everyone in. Although it would have been kind of nice if Sala did kind of go on the adventure, because Sala does mention that, oh, how I miss the desert. It would kind of be kind of cool. It kind of would have made it a little more interesting to have him and Sala and this goddaughter maybe make it more fun, more of a fun thing. But the project in the film that we have, it's not bad. I don't think it's that bad in my opinion. I had a really good time with it. I maybe enjoyed it more than others, and maybe I just kind of just got lost into it more than others, but hey, I had a good time with it. It's definitely way better than Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. I know, I don't think I've fully seen Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, but I am aware of its things like the aliens and Shia LaBeouf. Quite honestly, this premise, this plot itself, this concept, this architect, this dial that Indy's after feels more like classic Indy because it's a MacGuffin that makes sense, because it, like, in a small way, it's, yes, all the Indiana Jones movies have had very historical items, and I'm not going to act like I am a huge mega fan of Indiana Jones. I appreciate and respect the franchise that it is. Not so much Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, but I'm just saying as a whole, I really like the movies. I'm not a huge mega fan like, say, Chris Stuckman, but I do at least like these movies and have fun with them. I'm not going to act like I'm an expert on this, but from what I know of, this film definitely feels a lot more closer to the trilogy, the Indiana Jones trilogy, with Raiders of the Lost Ark, Temple of Doom, Last Crusade, where they kind of had these MacGuffins that had like almost like not religious power, but they had like some sort of like power beyond our belief, like the unknown, and it was kind of left unknown. Like the Ark, even though it has like this thing about like God and its power, its great power, it's still a historical item that exists, and it was an unknown power that we cannot comprehend. And yes, I know the Crystal Skull was kind of doing that too, but it was with aliens. And I'm gonna kind of go into some spoilers on Dial of Destiny, because basically the dial, which this was kind of funny in a way, because there's a lot of movies that do this often. This was bound to happen with Indiana Jones, but the dial basically travels you back in time to whatever moment, whatever period you want in time. And honestly, I feel like that fits a better premise and a better adventure than Kingdom of the Crystal Skull with aliens. It was kind of weird touching, like, it was kind of touching too sci-fi-ish with making it aliens and kind of make it too silly and goofy that way. At least with this, I know this is very much associated with sci-fi because of things like Back to the Future, but time travel just seems to make more sense with Indiana Jones, in my opinion. Hell, even the flashback sequence where they're after like the blade of Christ or something, like the blade of Christians or something. It was like a very Christian aesthetic blade or dagger that Indy was looking for. And even that little mini part of the movie felt like a better story and a better film than Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. So like I said, I had more enjoyment out of this movie a lot, and it definitely brings back John Williams' score. It does the right nods. And was this really a needed like end? I would like to be optimistic and say that this probably is a really good definitive end. I mean, we didn't need Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. We could maybe retcon that. It kind of retcons it, but at the same time it doesn't. So I guess you kind of could be satisfied with that. And I know some people will argue that The Last Crusade was the better ending. Maybe we'll revisit the trilogy and the rest of the movie somewhere down the line, but I think I had a great time with this movie. Is it perfect? Probably not, but I mean, overall, I had a fun time. I had a good time with this movie. I don't know if this would be the best of this year. I might say this is, but either way, I had a good time. I can't stress that enough. So I'm going to at least say the Dial of Destiny, I am going to give it at least an A-, maybe a B+ if I wanted to kind of like bring it down a peg, but I want to be nice and I want to give it an A-. So Indiana Jones 5, The Dial of Destiny. Have you guys seen it? What are your thoughts on it? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Let me know in the comment section down below. And as always, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you liked this video, please smash the like button. If you're new to my channel, please subscribe. I do awesome videos every day from every week. Make sure you ring that bell to new videos every week. Share the video with your family, friends, all the good stuff and more. Leave me suggestions, as always, in the comment section. You name it, I'll look into it as best as possible. Look out for more movie reviews. Look at some top 10s. There'll be more streams. Doesn't matter when this is scheduled, when this will be uploaded. You guys will be seeing some things worked into my schedule and also the other stuff that I'm working on in terms of myself and for you guys and for content. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you next time.